Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. What a great privilege and an honor to bring before you the next leader that you're going to be hearing from, co-founder, ambassador of Sankey Global, based out of Trinidad, Tobago. This leader is exceptional. She's phenomenal. She absolutely understands the law of honor, the law of grace, the law of obedience, the law of sacrifice, the law of leadership, the law of forgiveness. Guys, she's someone who I had the opportunity to meet just a short time ago, as in about 8 months. But it seems like I've known her a lifetime. She's someone that I so admire and I look up to in many, many facets of my life. Look up towards leadership, mentorship, even coaching, especially about health and wellness. She comes with a plethora of knowledge that supersedes even the human mind. She is a natural pathologist and a holistic healer in Trinidad, Tobago, but she's blessed many lives all over the world. Even a short time ago, a few months to be exact, when I had a visit in Trinidad, I landed on the plane with flu-like symptoms. I was very, very sick and was dealing with some things, even mentally and emotionally, and even spiritually. And by the time I left 4 days later, my body, my mind, my spirit had done a 180. That's right. You never want to go back where you started, right? It had done a 180, and I contributed it to this wonderful human being, Proverbs 31 and a half woman. And she is also someone who I consider a sister and a friend, and also a colleague here at Sankey Global. So I want to go ahead and get out of the way of greatness and bring to the line the next speaker for the 8 o'clock hour as we go into Vision 2020, the year of the do. 4 hours left, guys. So I hope that you have all of the people that you care about and that you love to hear this information that's going to be disseminated over the next 20 minutes. Mrs. RHONDA Isaac, Queen RHONDA Isaac, Ambassador RHONDA Isaac, co-founder RHONDA Isaac. Are you on the line, ma'am?
Yes, I am. And I am totally humbled by such a marvelous introduction by none other than the Queen Bee herself, Queen Dr. Helen de la Jose. Thank you very much. And I am blessed to be connected to you and to this great team as we journey into 2020. So I first want to thank God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and for connecting me with the right people, because I believe that He has prepared me for such a time as this. So, starting with this wonderful pink color I'm wearing tonight, I usually don't like being on the camera, but I'm following in the footsteps of my leader, Dr. Helen, and I chose this lovely bright color because I see a bright future ahead of us. So as we journey into 2020 and beyond, transforming lives, I look forward to just keep hearing more great testimonies as they unfold, because I have been given the opportunity to look into this great product. And as I say, thank God for His wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that I was able to identify the treasure that He presented before us in Sankey Global. So looking at the product and joining in what has been said before, I strongly applaud what has been done. And as I say, when you look at it and you really understand, and it's something I did ask myself before, we have smartphones, we have smart TVs, we have all of these technological gadgets that enhance our lives, and to us it makes us better. Computers, cars that can practically drive themselves to avoid you from crashing if you're falling asleep behind the wheel, but yet we had dumb nutrition. So tonight I lift up Sankey and applaud them for the effort and all that they have done in putting together the technology that has brought us here today, where we can now experience intelligent nutrition. And as you would have heard from the previous speakers in all what they said, how many different diseases, how many different problems, how many different lifestyle issues. However, these same 4 products are now able to fix everything across the board. Intelligent nutrition, nutrition with a mind of its own, nutrition that gets into the body to allow your amazing human body to do what it's supposed to do in terms of reverse, recover, and restore. Imagine products that are able to now help you live disease free. Why were we living in disease? Why have we been diseased all these years? Now we have found the answers that we can now go out there and really transform lives. There's so many persons lying in the hospital bed. And as we go forward into a new year, we can now transform their lives. We can now make them another testimony, help them to recognize the favor that God has shown us. And even looking into that favor, Dr. Helen de la Jose Clay and her family has been covered with that favor, that we are now able to be part of this journey and even witness the miracle with her son Eric as he is able to recover from what we will basically consider dead. He was basically pronounced dead, that he's going to be brain dead by the doctors and he's not going to recover. And we rebuke that. We have been able to see God's miracle, and using the Sankey products in this aspect, we will see a full recovery. Dr. Ruth Ann, as you would have heard her testimony, and I can attest to seeing the lifelessness in her feet when they lift her out of the wheelchair in Florida. But now, hearing the progress that has been made, remember, we have only been exposed to this 6 weeks. She's not on the products a full month. We have just been introduced to these amazing products, but to get such a powerful testimony in such a short space and time, it is nothing less than amazing. So why Sankey? What is making Sankey so good? What makes it a cut above the rest? Because from what I see, they have basically been founded on what they will consider the pillars of natural health, understanding that they fall in line with all what has been said before. We have Hippocrates, who stated all diseases begin in the gut. Okay, so Sankey products work directly from the gut. So if that's where the source of the problem is, then we are now starting from the source of the problem to treat with it, to reverse, recover, and restore your body. Dr. Linus Pauling, a Nobel Prize winner, has also stated that all diseases can be traced to mineral deficiency. Again, Sankey made sure that they include minerals of the highest quality in that inner 7 product that is able now to give you all that mineral content that you need to start, reverse, recover, and restore. So what are they doing? They have just done what other companies have done, but other companies do it and give you a long line of products, 15, 20, 25, 30 different supplements. This company has been able to do it in 4 simple yet very effective supplements that is now able to do what everything else on the market can do and more, because I've never heard of a product that can now activate your intelligent force. Imagine your body that has that intelligence that God gave it to repair itself. Now, given that nutrition, that intelligent nutrition is now able to make, as Dr. Helen said, that 180 when it comes to diseases in the body. Leave that disease situation and turn all the way around and just go on that road of recovery, that people are going to be wondering, what are you doing? What have you done? Knowing where you were, knowing your story and your past, and seeing the recovery from it, people are just going to be drawn to you. And even if they don't know, you go out and tell them. This company is going to reverse, recover, and restore finances. Persons who have been laid off, retrenched, who are not sure what they want to do. As I tell people, a lot of people do part-time jobs, and a part-time job usually takes more out of you than it puts in, because it now takes extra hours out of your day. You have to do extra commuting to get to that other job. You have to put out more money in transportation. You have to put out more meals because you're now awake for longer hours. And a lot of the times you now take away the time so that you can't go home and cook like you're accustomed. So now you're spending more money on buying extra food. So the money that you're actually working for in the part-time job is just being spent back trying to sustain that part-time job. This company is able to show you a couple hours a week in your spare time. You don't need to put in any extra money. You don't need to go anywhere else. You could reach the persons on social media. We have an app that you can now use to market it. Everything is laid out for you. You can put it up on Facebook. You can talk to people on the train, anywhere you go, because here's what? We live in a diseased world, and we now have the power to show persons how they can now throw away those diseases, reverse their lives and convert it into something better. Dr. Louis Ignarro, another Nobel Prize winner, was given an award for his discovery of nitric oxide. And from what I see with Sankey, they have the secret behind nitric oxide, because this way that the belage is able to get in there into the capillaries and really increase that microcirculation, because nitric oxide cleans the arteries and helps to create that greater circulation in the body. I know that they have the secrets. You can look at the faces in those pictures and see. Dr. Helen posted a picture of our CEO, Mr. Avida, from back when she knew him in 2012 or somewhere there, and a picture of him today. And he looks the same. He looks like he didn't age a day. Imagine that. How many people would like to put a pause on the aging process or reverse the aging process so that you can maintain that youthful look, that you can maintain? A lot of people do Botox, they do injections. Come on, we can now show them they don't need to be doing those things. They do surgeries, liposuction to take away the fat. No, give them a canoe. They could lose weight while they sleep. They don't need no liposuction. You don't need no Botox. We just need Sankey. And we have the power to now introduce this to the world. Another stalwart in the natural health industry, Dr. Sebi, highlighted that all diseases are linked to one base problem, and the baseline behind it is mucus or glycation, as they use in a medical term. So imagine, once again, Sankey is able to address the glycation and the mucus buildup in your body. I have several testimonies, including my own, of feeling the mucus just draining out of your body, being able to bring up that extra cold and getting that freedom in your nasal passage, that I don't have the sinus pressure anymore, you know? And along with all of those things, we have even more greater testimonies. We speak about the big things that we see. Let me point out some of the fine things that we may not pay attention to. My nails are actually growing. My hair is actually getting longer. Some persons were able to post that their skin was looking clearer. Hair, nail, and skin. People spend a lot of money on these things. Imagine you could now improve all of this through your simple nutrition. Sankey, Belage, Fenui, Inner 7, Kasaki. Reverse, recover, and restore in every aspect of your life. As a practitioner, I have had the pleasure of treating with someone. And as I say before, in my aspect, that I saw where I was giving someone 20 different supplements to reverse their issues because they were so complicated. But once I heard about these products and I saw what it can do, There was no convincing for me. I knew it was going to transform lives. So I immediately was able to get one of my customers on it. And tonight I'm going to call her up to give her testimony, because before Sankey, she was ailing for over 3 years. She was diseased. She had dizziness. She kept falling down. She was in and out of hospitals. She couldn't walk straight. And the last thing the doctor sent her home with is psychiatric pills. Basically, they're telling her she's crazy. They sent her home with psychiatric pills to further damage her body. And that is where our journey started, where I was able to start treating with her to clean up her body and start giving her nutrition. But I have been since able to move her off of the 23 different supplements and bring her on to just four: Sankey, Belage, Prenui, Inner Seven, and Hasaki: Reverse, Recover, and Restore. So I would just like to call on my sister and dear friend, Giselle Johnny, to come and say and give a little more insight into what these products has been doing for her as she is on her Sankey journey. We have partnered together to transform the world. Take it away, Giselle.
Nobody's gonna cramp my style. Nobody's gonna slow me down. Oh no, cause Sankey's got me moving. Good night, everyone. Good night, Queen Rhonda. Good night, everyone here on the call tonight. And I was saying to a young lady earlier tonight, you cannot feel the joy that I feel because you have not been where I've been. And so when I listen to you talk tonight and listen to the other people talk tonight, I cannot just go on and testify without first saying thank you. Thank you to you for being a true sister. Thank you that last July, when I was flat on my back in hospital, and I was ashamed to call you because in 2016, you did a scan on me and you told me you are a walking time bomb. You told me while I was running my business, doing ministry, and thought I had it all together, you said you are a walking time bomb. And you gave me a few pointers. I remember you telling me your gallbladder, you have stones, your thyroid, it's not functioning. You were telling me your body is filled with all sorts of toxins. You are a walking time bomb. And in my mind, I didn't want to disrespect you, but I thought you and your scan was crazy. And that was just the honest truth. But 1 year later, in 2017, I found myself flat on my back. And yes, I did find, you know, the doctors did find one or two things, but they did not find all that you would have found. So while the doctors told me some things, it was only later on, 2 years after, they started discovering more of this stuff that I could have prevented if I had listened in 2016. And so I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to Dr. Helen. Thank you for this awesome team, because the night before I received this call from you to come to Florida, I did not know what it was about, but I knew I trusted you. And I knew whoever you were connecting me to, I could trust. And as I sat on that table that night at Dr. Helen's home, I was already not feeling altogether. And so many times we look good on the outside, but on the inside, nobody knows that we are hurting. And so I was in pain. And it was only 20 minutes after trying this Belage that I started to say, Rhonda, what is this? Is this joy juice? What is happening here? Because I knew the confusion I felt in my mind. I had this terrible mind fog. I had these terrible headaches that wouldn't go away every single day. And I want to just go back a little bit. So when I called you in that hospital and you came and checked me out, after literally combing my hair, because I couldn't even do that for myself. I couldn't even walk without support. You took me to the supermarket to get food stuff. I couldn't even walk without holding you or the trolley. And when I was fainting, you would run to get something, emergency, something to help me to just be able to walk. And not only that, that was just July. And you took me into your own personal clinic, and you would stay up in the night, not just in a room separately, you were in the same room, and you were there looking at me when these things came upon me. And I say these things because it felt like some monster came upon me. Everything was just dropping in the middle of the night. The room was spinning. Something was dropping. They tried to see if it was my sugar, my pressure. Nobody could tell what was happening. But all I know, I was spinning like if I was dying, going into this dark place. Everything was just spinning. But I could feel, the oxygen going. And as the doctors would have confirmed, the thyroid goiter was so large that oxygen was not going to the brain. And so that's why I was fainting everywhere. And I just did not know what to do. Their recommendation was to do about 3 surgeries. And what happened is that after you put me on all of the supplements and the products, 23 to be precise, we started seeing changes. We started seeing within 9 days, I could remember I could walk without assistance. And even while all of that was great, taking 23 different things every day does something to you psychologically. It's a burden. And some of them 3 times a day, it's a burden. And so I am so, so, so happy that nobody's going to cramp my style. And I'm so serious about that because it's Sankey that has me moving. I sleep in the night without pain from these gallbladder stones. I could not eat gluten. I could not touch anything. I just had 4 cookies. I ate everything for Thanksgiving. And it was years. It was not just days. It's for 3 years. I could not touch anything that was gluten. Celiac disease. It started with chronic constipation from a child. Then from that, I had this bad acid reflux. Then I found out I had leaky gut. Then I found out I had GERD. And so the chronic constipation was the thing that caused all the toxins to be backing up in my body for many, many, many years. And then that's why all these, I had 4 large fibroid tumors. They said it was like a 4-month-old baby. I was bleeding 23 days a month. So by the time I stopped, it was just time to start back my cycle. I had chronic anemia, and the list goes on and on and on. But Queen Rhonda Isaac was able to take me off of these 23 products. I remember the night before she called me to say, I need you to come to Florida. I was in tears, lying on my bed saying, God, I cannot travel the nations of the earth. I cannot do this vision. I cannot do these things with a sick body. Why aren't you helping me? I mean, and I was experiencing good health from the 23 things compared to how I was before, but nothing like this. Nothing like this. So it's not a case as Queen Rhonda taught me that you don't have to eat this, you don't have to eat that. But Sankey is doing it for me because my gut, I'm healed from my gut. I can tell nobody, a man with an opinion cannot query with a man who has the experience. And so tonight, I just want to say I am so grateful. I would have lost 60% hearing. Now I'm hearing very, very well. I would have been diagnosed with a blood clot. Now I know that the viscosity of my blood, it's being regulated because I'm not feeling sick. I went back to the doctor just Thursday and I got a very great report. I know that we don't take their reports on, but at the end of the day, I don't have to do a surgery. I don't have to take my thyroid out. I don't have to take my uterus out. I don't have to worry about any more blood thinners. And I am so, so very, very grateful. And I am glad to be on this journey, helping to restore, reverse, and recover lives. Thank you so much, Queen Rhonda.
You're welcome. As I always say, if you didn't have to cut yourself to put it in, you shouldn't have to cut yourself to take it out. And I thank you all for listening tonight. I will take a page from my leader, once again, Her Honor, Queen Helen de la Jose, and I would say we have been given the grace card. I see Sankey as our grace card. Let's go out there and share that grace card to the world. Thank you very much. Have a good night. It's a wonder and a pleasure to be with you all. Take care. Have a good night.